Hey, what's up, guys? Come here. You gotta check this out. Come here. It's so exciting. It's got boost. That's right. This is a, I don't know, 2002, 3, somewhere around there. Jeep Grand Cherokee WJ, and it's got a turbo. All right, hey, welcome to the channel. Today we have a quick project. As I told you in one of our previous videos, we're helping a buddy out. We're gonna do some upper coilover towers for the front of his WJ. But the coolest part about this WJ, I mean, it's a nice build. He's got a lot going on. We'll show you a walk around and all that. But like I said, it has a turbo. See all the good stuff he's got going on here. He's got an intercooler up front. It's all protected a little bit there. Air filter. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge over here. He's got a lot going on, but we'll figure it out how it's all going to fit. The biggest challenge we run into with WJs and coilovers is the AC condenser, but we can figure some stuff out there. Yeah, we'll probably be back somewhere in there. It's trying to show you this is hard. So the shock normally mounts there, so realistically the tower wants to fit right here, but yeah, we'll get in there, start getting stuff pulled out, cut out, all that good stuff. But just a quick walk around this guy. Fully welded rock sliders, long arms. He's got 4-link in the rear. It's getting ready to get a 1-ton swap. He's taking that to another guy to do it. He just needed some help on the coilovers, which we're gonna lend a hand on that and get that knocked out for him. So I guess the first thing we got to do is get this thing up in the air and start taking some suspension off. Well, that was a whole lot of fun. Actually, thankfully, because he's already on long arms, we can get the droop out of the front axle that we need to pull things out pretty easily. I still got to pull the bumps out. Those won't be used because he will be using hydraulic bump stops. So the next part is figuring out how to stuff this guy. Oh, it's wonderful glory. This is a carbon shock Technologies 2.5. Could have 2.5 for the weight. I was gonna say for space and what this is doing, 2.0 might have worked, but 2.5 is probably better. It's a heavier vehicle. So yeah, first thing we're gonna do is take some measurements and just kind of see what we're working with here, because the big question that always comes into play is how far up in the engine bay do you have to cut? So obviously we're cutting all this, so we just got to see based on ride height and a few other things where it's going to sit. Yeah, so I'm going to start doing some math. Got my measurements for the coilover now. Kind of got an idea what I'm going to do. So that takes us to our next step, which is, guess what? What? Cutting. Yay. now that we've cut out the bulk majority of the stuff that we need to start getting ideas, I went ahead and slid the coil up there to see what it looks like. So that's your coil over there. So most of that will be above. Oops, blocking the light there. Kind of see that. So most of that's going to be in the engine bay. We got to come up quite a bit. 14 is definitely about the biggest you can run, and we may take that spacer out since he's running bumps because we have a poly spacer in there. But the next thing we're going to have to do is this ABS module, since he's going to 1 tons, he's not going to be using this at all. So that's all going to go away. And then we're going to convert this to a Dodge 3500 master cylinder. The only real challenge that we run into is on the passenger side. You have your AC, it's not your condenser, it's your, whatever the heck this thing is. It's that, it's where it compresses. No, I can't remember what that thing's called. But either way, it is literally right in the way of where we got to go. But those two things are the only things that are really problematic. So I don't foresee this being an issue. Because like I said, we'll pull all this out and run them a couple new lines and we'll get all that figured out. But I don't anticipate this being too terrible, and already kind of cool seeing what this thing's going to look like. Well, it's getting kind of late, so I'm going to call it a night from here, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. So you guys have a good night, and we'll see you in the morning.
What's up, everybody?
And we're back. So, like I said, we'll be back today, and a little bit later start. It has been crazy busy today, but went by AutoZone with a couple things we got to take care of here. Number one, the master cylinder, like I said, the ABS and stuff, which is not going to be used, is all in the way. So I'm going to have Joe unbolt this. Probably go ahead and have him unbolt the master cylinder, pop this bad boy in, and we'll go from there. I thought you were putting that on the vehicle. Why are you putting it in the box?
It doesn't fit. Daniel got the wrong one.
Ah, is it? What's the problem?
Bolt holes don't line up. So unless I want to change the whole booster.
You're making a mess.
Yeah.
Fred.
I'm calling the store. Never mind, I'm not.
We'll look it up. We'll get it figured out. In the meantime, the next problem, can you go ahead and start getting all that ABS stuff out?
Figure something out with that. Yeah.
Okay. I've got to deal with this guy. It's the evap canister. It's in the way, so we got to look at some stuff. I'm pulling this bottom bolt, and I'm going to see what room we have to work with. I unbolted this, and it actually lifted up quite a bit. There's enough flexibility because there's the hard line to the soft line that we can raise this up a bit without hitting the hood. I think we'll be okay. So we'll start building the tower around this, and if it needs to move or anything, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but I think we're okay. The 4.0s have a much smaller evap canister than the 4.7s. The 4.7's like a football. What you got there, Joe?
Almost got the proportioning valve and ABS module out of here. And almost there. There we go. Unhook from there. Actually, minimal mess. I'm very happy to see that.
Okay. All right, look at all that space. It's amazing when you have no brakes.
I ain't got no brakes! I got no brakes! Got no brakes!
So that is where normally the master cylinder would go. And we may go ahead and put the stock one back in just for... Actually, no, that really doesn't matter.
I can't now. We eliminated the lines.
Yeah. A lot of those lines are going to go away too. But yeah, now we have all this space here. So the next thing we got to do is we got to trim a little bit so we have room for the coilover to slide through, and we're going to start to figure out our height. So let's figure that out next. Well, what we got to figure out, and
This needs to be outside. You're not going to have room in the cab for that.
I don't know where that's going. We'll figure that out. I kind of want to set this at full bump.
How much more do we got to go?
That's full droop. Full bump.
Oh, full bump? All right.
When you're putting coilovers on or suspension, you really want to set the axle at full bump so you're all the way up. So we are going to put the axle all the way up as close to the body as it'll go, and that'll be full bump. I went to put this thing at full bump here, and it looks like the lower control arms didn't get cut off. One of the things when you long arm these to get to full bump, you have to cut these arms off because, as you can see, when that comes up, it hits it. So Joe is going to chop away. That piece.
Hopefully that's enough.
We'll see. We'll see. Ow! Let's go ahead and jack it back up now. One thing we have to take in consideration, we can't cut the perches off these axles. And like I said, we're only doing part of this build. We're only doing the upper mount. So this axle is actually coming out and a Ford Super Duty axle is going in. So we actually, there's some math we got to play around with here. But we got to take into consideration the perch here, because we're just going to tack 2 tabs on it. So how tall is that?
That's about 4 inches to the top of the axle. Maybe a hair more.
So we need to come down 4 inches basically, and that's our full bump.
Yeah.
So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from a known point
and come down 4 inches.
Yeah. So from the top of that hole to the top of this perch is right at 5 inches.
Okay.
So we need to go down to 9 inches. You want to lay that back up in there?
Yeah, now we got it bumped out. Let's go ahead and put the coil over through the top, and let's see how bad it is.
It looks about like the last Jeep we did.
Yeah. Okay. So now the fun part, where's the master cylinder? It's the one you took off.
You want it off?
Yeah, I just need to see some basic space. Well, folks, we got a coilover in. Kind of got an idea where the master cylinder is going to go here. Still a lot of little stuff to figure out, but overall, everything's looking good. But I think this is where we're going to end part 1 of this series. This is definitely the teardown and kind of leading up to what we're doing. We got a little bit of figuring out to do here. It's a little tricky to get the mount figured out, but we got some ideas and we'll get it all figured out. So make sure you come back, see part 2. All right, so like I said, we're going to leave the video off here. We'll probably have 2 or 3 videos on this build. This is the teardown and kind of showing you where we're getting. So Joe, ready to call it a night?
I'm good with that.
All right, if you're not subscribed, make sure you get subscribed, like, share, all that good stuff. We're almost to 10,000 subscribers. Help us to get there and subscribe below. So.
And don't forget, we do love the comments and we do reply to the comments. I appreciate everything you guys have told me about my build. I know Daniel appreciates the advice you give us about our builds. Good, bad, or otherwise, we want to know, what do you like about it? What do you not like about it? That way we can adjust.
Heck yeah. We're always learning stuff too. We love when you guys point something out. We're not above learning new ways to do things, and we appreciate any and all feedback and criticism. So, fist bump for you. Fist bump for you guys. We'll see you next time.